welcome back to another episode of our FC 26 career mode here with Bolton Wanderers. It is episode number 48 as we continue our unbeaten run this season. 22 games played in our competition and we are still unbeaten, which is incredible. 5 of those games in the Champions League. We're second right now, only to PSG, who we face in the next game in the Champions League after this one against the Polish side, Rakow Częstochowa, I believe, who are right now 22nd in the league phase. I'm not quite sure what to expect from this team, but every game in the Champions League is a tough game. These teams have got qualities. We've got Tottenham to play. We've also got Sunderland, Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, and we've got a game against Aston Villa as well in today's episode. Without further ado, though, let's go into the first one then. Come on, the Trotters. One thing that I've noticed in the Champions League this season, and to some extent in the Europa League last season, even the teams that are not the best teams in the competition, they do have their moments in game that makes you think, I tell you what, this team have got a little bit of quality in here. And I don't expect any less from Rakow, by the way. They've got Bulat in midfield. A few people might have used him in previous FCs as a quality box-to-box midfielder. He's a decent free kick taker, so we might need to avoid giving Rakow free kicks in dangerous position. Paul Fox, the youth academy graduate, starts in the right centre-back position for us today. Is normally a centre defensive midfielder, but starting at the back today. Lloyd Yandel getting another opportunity to start in midfield in this game. Now, with the injury to Kieran Morgan, I did say he's one of those players that could, in games like this anyway, where I expect to have more possession, to be able to play in that box-to-box midfield, and we shouldn't lose the quality or the shape of the team. I'm expecting a big game from him here, Lloyd Yandel in midfield. Oh, that's McPherson in the right place. He gave it away though. That's a big chance from the home side to put themselves in front in this game. So far, I have liked the way Rakow have defended, the sort of take away the spaces for you to play through the spaces. We have managed, though, to play it out from the back here. Bungar squares it to Clayton Taylor, who gets there first for the second Champions League goal of the season. Oh, he's having a good campaign, isn't he, Clayton Taylor? When we signed Van Bommel, he sort of improved since then. It's almost like saying, I know you have brought in a starting left winger, but I can still do a job here, Tell you what, that was the first time that we managed to play through their press, and it's looking so much easier now. That surely is the second. Oh, Clayton Taylor tops it out. I cannot believe, by the way, Nelson Viper has missed from there. The sort of quality he's been in this season, you don't expect him to miss from there, but he fell kindly rather for Clayton Taylor, who taps it home for the second of the game and his third Champions League goal of the season for our wide Australian winger. Tell you what, we're having a comfortable game here. It started on quite nervy. Rakow defending quite well and created a good opportunity of their own in that first half. Couldn't take the chance, but for the remainder of that first half, we went on to systematically break them down. Oh, Paul Fox has been down there, but good goalkeeping off his line really quickly to prevent us from conceding a goal there on the break, over the top to Nelson Viper. He's going to try and run. He's going to try and run the centre-back there. Mosso, I believe, he scored, but he just couldn't. He just couldn't do it then. Substitution, Lloyd Yandel, and being replaced by Joel Randall, who is refusing to sign a new contract right now. Like I said, we will try and give him a new contract before the January transfer window opens again and see whether we can change his mind. But how easy is that? How easy is that? I praised their defending in the first half, Rakow. But since we scored our first goal, it's been domination here, and they haven't been able to lead with our pace going forward. But that's poor defending. Bayuku with an easiest pass in the world. Look at the amount of space for Nelson Viper. And that is it. It's a 3-0 victory for us away from home. And that secures our top 8 finish in the league phase of the Champions League and automatically now puts us into the knockout stages with 2 games to go. What an unbelievable season we're having so far. And we've made light work of this game, 3-0 away from home. I tell you what, I'm actually enjoying this season in the Premier League a little bit more. It's a much more competitive season. I think at this stage last season, we were about 6-7 points clear of second place, and we've actually picked up more points this season than we did at this stage last season. But of course, City are at the top of their game as well. You've got Liverpool not far away from us, Chelsea in 4th. Just the 6 points separating the top 4 there. But Chelsea and ourselves have got game in hand, so it's much more competitive. Our next game, of course, Tottenham Hotspur, who are mid-table right now. And we're going into this one in a rainy condition that I'm not a big fan of. But anyway, come on, the Trotters. What an unbelievable season that man is having, by the way. Nelson Viper, 13 Premier League goals and the top scorer in the division. There was a comment from our very own Water Ballard. I tell you what, I really do appreciate your efforts in this channel, mate. You know, watching as much videos as you can, dropping likes, commenting on the videos. It's one of the reasons why I carry on making these videos. It's much appreciated. But he did ask if Nelson Viper have broken the consecutive Premier League goal record held by Jamie Vardy, I believe from the 2016-2017 season, where he scored in 11 consecutive games. I did go back to check, and the answer to that question is no. The most he's done this season is in 4 consecutive Premier League games. He scored in our opening 4 games this season, which was incredible start to the season for him. But no, he's not broken that record. He could still go on to do it before the end of this season. Who knows? So far, he scored in the last 2, but I think he scored in our first 4 games this season, and then he failed to score in the 5th against Brighton. That was a big chance there from Ruben van Bommel. Still keeps it alive though. Tottenham defense well, and it looks like they're going to get this one cleared. I'm not a big fan of the rainy condition, but we seem to be improving a lot playing in the wet conditions. I mean, I said this before, the more we have improved in quality as a team, I'm beginning to find it a little bit easier playing in the rainy conditions. I mean, it goes to show if you have a better team, right? All of a sudden, oh, that's a big chance there from Tottenham. When you have a better team, all of a sudden, you can sort of mitigate this harsh circumstances, should I say. And we seem to be doing that quite well, especially this season. Out wide, Kudus, one of the only wingers that seems to cause Thierry Small seems to ask Thierry Small 1 or 2 questions whenever we face against Tottenham. He's had a good game in this half so far, Mohamed Kudus. And Thierry Small haven't been able to work him out just yet. But I'm hoping a big second half from our left back. It's still 0-0. Substitutions here, early one from Tottenham. Conor Gallagher is being replaced by the Dutch man, and you've got Simons coming on. He had a crucial season towards the back end of this season for Tottenham, isn't he? Scored 1 or 2 crucial goals before he got himself injured. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to be going to the World Cup, but I think he's a good little player that Tottenham have got there. He's not quite old. He's not shown the quality I expect from him this season, but hopefully he comes back stronger anyway, because I think there's a good attacking midfielder in there. Exactly the same again. The outswinger, Nelson Viper. He makes it 3 goals in his last 3 games now, and 14 for this season in 16 appearances. Take a bow, son. He does everything so right. You know, he can score with his head. He can score with his left foot. He can score with his right foot. His hold-up play is excellent. He gets loads of assists. There isn't much more I can say about our centre-forward. He's just incredible. 14 Premier League goals this season. Tottenham are going to come out now and try to play. And if we can get it right, we can go out there and maybe get one more in this game. Oh, that space there for Isaac Price. He's made a good run. Look at the space here for Nelson Viper, who makes it 2-0. And 15 Premier League goals of the season. And 7 assists, I believe, to his name, which is incredible. 15 league goals and 7 assists in 16 Premier League appearances. What more can you do? What more can you do right now? And the scary thing is, He seems to be getting better and better as the season goes on. It's scary to think about what sort of level he could actually get to. But a couple of substitutions here, the likes of Wang Yudong coming on for fresh legs. Out wide for Tottenham, it goes to Kudus. What was a boring first half of 10 now to be quite an exciting end to the second half here, especially since we scored our goal. Oh, Ruben van Bommel is beating the offside trap and he squares it for Nelson Viper, who scored his first ever hat-trick for us. And he's going to be going home with the match ball, 16 goals in 16 Premier League appearances. And he's got the perfect hat-trick as well. I believe he scored the first goal with a header, the second goal with his left foot, and the third goal now with his right foot. He's actually got the perfect hat-trick, as they tend to describe it, or the second goal, I think. Oh no, the second goal he scored with his right foot, and the last goal there, the third one, he scored with his left foot. Either way, it is a perfect hat-trick for him. But Testel doing quite well. The shot's been blocked. It fell to Simons. Simons to Alfie Devine. Oh my goodness, that's the best goal of the game. And he's come in the last kick of the game pretty much for Tottenham. It's only going to be a consolation goal for them here in the last kick of the game. I'm disappointed the fact that we haven't been able to keep the clean sheet, to be honest. But that's a good goal from the young man who was at some point out on loan at Preston North End, if I'm not mistaken. It's a quality finish from him. I think he came off the bench. And this is going to finish 3-1 victory for us. The first half was not much quality in the first half, but 4 goals in the second half. 3 for that man, Nelson Viper, who is going to be going home with a match board, and Tottenham getting a late consolidating goal there for them from Alfie Devine. And it's going to finish 3-1. Tell you what, sometimes this game is mad. How does Van der Ven and Gray get into the team of the week after being behind a 3-1 thrashing against us, and they somehow made it into the team of the week? I'm not sure how to pick these players, but it just doesn't make sense at times. But anyway, let's focus on that. We can focus on our next game here, which is in front of our home fans against Sunderland. And with 16 games unbeaten in our Premier League campaign so far, can we make it 17 unbeaten in the season? Incredible starts, as I've said a few times. But Sunderland are a tricky opponent, though. But I do believe if we can stop them from playing their game here, this is one of those games where I feel like we could comfortably win this one. It's Price, Simons and Sigor in midfield, Bungard, Nelson Viper and Ruben van Bommel, our forward 3. No changes from our previous game against Tottenham. They've got Konate and Militao, 2 really good centre-backs there. Brian Brobby starts up front. We know he can be a handful to centre-backs. We've got to stop him today. I mean, if this is how Sunderland want to play, right, where they just defend deep like this and try to absorb the pressure, I'm liking this, what I'm seeing here so far. It's only a matter of time until we break them down. No! Ruben van Bommel! He just couldn't get set there quick enough to pull the trigger. And the defender just got there, toe poked the ball away from him. The switch of play here from Sunderland to Talby, the number 7 out wide, cross into the box. Good header there from Collins. Sigor gets in his way, or Charlie Hughes gets in his way there, I should say. It's been a quality signing from the Championship for us, driving us forward here. Charlie Hughes, I always say this, right? Most teams in the Premier League could improve 1 or 2 positions by signing players from the Championship. There's some good players in the Championship, you know. And in terms of, oh, what a save from the goalkeeper. In terms of transition as well from the Championship to the Premier League, I think it's one of the leagues where you can sign player and the transition is not that difficult, because in terms of the pace of the game, the Championship sometimes can be quicker than the Premier League. It's all about finding that quality. We've seen teams like Palace go on to sign players like Eze, players like Adam Wharton, Olise, some good players you can pick up from the Championship, you know. Nelson Viper attacking that one on the far post. Really good corner there, but it was off target. We've dominated the opening 23 minutes of this game so far. It's only a matter of time, I was just going to say. And what a pass that was from Xavier Simons. And Nelson Viper makes his 17 goals this season. And now 4 consecutive goals is scored. And he's matched his tally from earlier on this season in terms of consecutive goals. Now that I know about, or now that that has been brought to my attention, it's something that I'm going to try and keep track of. Can he actually break that record? It's playing in my mind right now, and I'm going to do everything that I can to try. It's not all about Nelson Viper, don't get me wrong, but if we can get him to break that consecutive goal record of 11 in 11 scoring in 11 consecutive games, I should say, we will of course try to do that. That's another really good cross from Collins, who surprised me in terms of his ability to go forward and whip crosses into the ball. But what did I say about Ruben van Bommel? He's going to score a few goals this season from crosses to that far post. He's made Konate there look like an awful centre-back. What a leap. What a finish as well from him. That goal from Ruben van Bommel I thought he wasn't going to get there for a second, but the quality from Van Bommel, using all of that 6'4" advantage and bullying Konate on that occasion. Oh, Nelson Viper trying to play in Van Bommel there. But well defended, Sunderland on the attack here. It's the run from Diarra back to... it's a good ball to Talby, the number 7. It seems to be finding a little bit of spaces from that right-hand side in the second half. Not a good tackle from Thierry Small, but he's going to avoid the card there, the yellow card. Luckily for him. That's 4 substitutions. Taylor, the likes of Clayton Taylor coming on. The likes of Lloyd Yandel also coming on there. A few substitutions to freshen up the team in the final 10 minutes of the game or so. Talby once again driving forward from that right-hand side. It's a good cross, but couldn't get there first. Collins wins possession. Randall driving us forward. The second half substitute goes out wide to Lloyd Yandel. He's going to cut back here. Lloyd Yandel plays it across the face of goal, and Clayton Taylor scores again. Our 3rd goal of the game, and it's game over now. Look at that. He made that run towards the near post. A proper centre forwards run there. To be honest, I'm surprised Nelson Viper wasn't the one making that run, because he was so close to it as well. But look at the run here from Clayton Taylor to that near post. It's not got the right contact. It's one of those goals where if he actually got the right contact, I think the goalkeeper would have saved it. But it's just scuffed it on there for our 3rd goal of the game. And it's game over now. And that's going to be his 3-0 victory for us. And the Trotters keeps marching on this season. And that might just put us top of the league back again right now. But what a performance here. I said if we play to our strength, if we stop Sunderland from doing what I know they can do, we could go on and have a comfortable game here. And we have done exactly that. 3-0 victory at the Toughsheet Community Stadium in front of the home fans. Tell you what though, talking about squad management, I was quite worried going into this busy December and January period. It's still only December. The January transfer window is open pretty soon. But we've done quite well, haven't we? We've only got Chelsea and then Aston Villa to finish the month of December, which takes us to the opening of the January transfer window. We might decide whether we want to bring in a player or so to help us for the remainder of the season. But our last 2 Champions League games is quite tough, but thank goodness we've already qualified to the knockout stages. It doesn't really matter what happens in those 2 games. Of course, we want to test ourselves against the PSGs of this world when we face them, but that is not going to make any impact towards qualification into the knockout stages. Our next game here is the Carabao Cup against Chelsea. I might try and give out 1 or 2 contracts again if we can before that game. We've got here a contract on the table for Max Conway. Accept this and be part of a team competing for the Premier League, playing Champions League football, making you a small fish in a big pond, if you know what I mean. Or reject this offer and we potentially sell you to a championship or League One team where you can be a big fish but in a small pond. Hopefully, though, he accepts this. 18k in wages there, 700k in signing on bonus, 500k if he makes 10 appearances this season, which he is going to make. It is a reasonable offer. I think the signing on bonus there made the difference for him. But that's one done, and now we will try and do the same for Joel Randall. The situation is exactly the same here for Joel Randall. Contracts on the table, accept this and try and achieve something great here with Bolton Wanderers. I mean, I don't have to give these players new contract, by the way. We could go out there in the January transfer window and improve on them. But for me, it's all about the sentiments. They have been here with us right from our championship days. They understand the culture. They know what it means to be a Bolton Wanderers player, and hence I'm trying to keep them for as long as possible. Not necessarily as starters, but players that will do a good job for us coming off the bench in the cup games here and there. Again, he's asking for the 33k in wages, which unfortunately we're not going to go anywhere close to those figures. I'm not going to go above the 22k in wages actually, but I will try one more attempt though. Wages we are offering is going to remain 22k, but signing on bonus I've increased that to 800k and 500k if he makes 5 appearances this season, which is already achieved that, to be fair. And from now to the end of the season, he's going to make 5 or more appearances. Well, it's not going to work. I'm not going to offer him that wages, which means, unfortunately, for Joel Randall, we will sell him when the January transfer window opens. And up next year is the Carabao Cup quarterfinals at the Bridge. It is Chelsea. This is, by the way, a big opportunity for us to win a trophy, our first trophy this season. If we can go past Chelsea, it's just 2 more games to go in this competition. Chelsea have gone strong. Chalobah and Colwill as the 2 centre-backs, Santos and Caicedo in midfield, Cole Palmer in that number 10 position, Rafinha and Ada Güler as the wide players. Liam Delap is leading the line for them. Once again, as we always do, we have rotated, and Rodriguez starts this one, and Wang Yudong, Nelson Viper and Lloyd Yandel as our forward 3 for this game. It's one of those games where I don't actually expect a lot of goals. A 1-0 might do it here, you know. I mean, when we play against Chelsea, it's always close games I've noticed against them. And so far, 34 minutes into this game, it's been a boring half. You'd expect this, especially in the latter stages of the cup competitions like this. No team want to give it away quite early. But we have been the better team in that first half, you know. We've absolutely been the better team in that first half. Not many, or not too many, clear-cut opportunities created, of course, but in terms of keeping hold of the ball and moving Chelsea from side to side, we did that quite well in the first half, Lloyd. Oh, Wang Yudong! That was a chance to get the first goal of the game earlier on in the second half. How he's missed that, I'm not too sure. I mean, he's regressed a little bit this season, Wang Yudong, but then again, that might just be purely the fact that he's not started too many games this season. And he's a young player, isn't he? You always see that from young players. They have one good season, the next season they slow down a little bit. I mean, if we were still here next season, I would have expected him to improve again. But he's still got that quality to cause the fans 1 or 2 troubles. Get in there, Ruben Rodriguez. We know he can score goals. I mean, on his very debut for us, he scored 2 against Bournemouth. And since then, he's not scored too many. And when we needed the most, he stepped up here in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, and he might as well got the goal that sends us to the next round. Chelsea might just, I feel like, have one more opportunity in this game, which is why I'm trying to keep hold of the ball here. With 1 minute to go and possibly stoppage time. That's a bad tackle on Charlie Hughes, who stays down right now. And I'm worried about that. We cannot afford to lose a player of his quality on a long-term injury here. That's it for the end of the game. We have won the game. We are going to be going through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. But I'm more worried about that tackle on Charlie Hughes right now. I hope it's not too serious. I really hope it's nothing too serious. You could hear how worried I am in my voice. If we have to lose him for a long time, we will absolutely miss him. But 1-0 victory here at the bridge. We go to the next rounds of the Carabao Cup. Now, unfortunately for us, that awful tackle on Charlie Hughes just towards the end of that Chelsea game has resulted in an injury. I'm not quite sure how long he's going to be out for. Hopefully, nothing too serious. It's only the 5 games he's out for. I think he'll miss our next game against Aston Villa, which is not too bad. Thankfully, it's not long term as Kieran Morgans, who is certainly out for the next 2.5 months now. He's been out for almost a month. Kieran Morgan, so 2+ months ago, just a little bit more than 2 months. But thankfully for Charlie Hughes, it's not a long-term injury. And going into our final game of today's episode then, we are away from home at Villa Park. It's 17 Premier League games unbeaten so far. 12 wins and 5 draws, 41 points, and top of the league right now. Aston Villa are in the top half of the Premier League, as you'd expect from them. They are a quality side. Unai Emery's Europa League winners this season, of course. They're one of those teams where you look at the names in the team, it doesn't quite scream quality, but the way Unai Emery has got this team playing, they play some good football, they score goals at times this season, in real life anyway. I felt like they overachieved their expected goals, especially at the early part of the season. But surprisingly, they did manage to keep that up to finish in the top 4. Which is amazing from them, and going on to win the Europa League as well, to finish in the top 4 and win the Europa League, given the amount of injuries they had in the latter parts of the season as well. They did slow down in the league, but they got a few players back. The likes of Tielemans came back, the likes of John McGinn came back, and they picked up form again towards the back end of the season. But he's a very good coach, Unai Emery, one of the best coaches in the world. Right now, I feel like, can he make that step up though to a bigger team like Aston Villa? That's always been the big question. You saw him when he went to PSG, not quite the best there, not quite the best at Arsenal. But when he's managed the teams like Aston Villa, your Sevillas, your Villarreal, he seems to do quite well with those type of teams. I mean, he's won the Europa League with all of those teams, by the way. But when he stepped up to the bigger football clubs, it's not quite been the same. We have played some good football here in the opening 23 minutes. I wanted that to go on for a corner, but Thierry Small has done well to keep her alive, to put the pressure here on Aston Villa. And that is Isaac Price. And thankfully, we didn't allow that to go out. I was happy to allow that to go out for a corner. But the player decided not to, kept it alive. 1 or 2 passes later, and Isaac Price gets the opener of the game. And all our pressure so far in this game is paid off. That's a good finish for his 3rd Premier League goal of the season and 15 appearances for Isaac Price. One of the first names in the team sheet. And he's a quality footballer, isn't he? I think us going from an okay team, from a good team to a very good team, came after we signed Isaac Price. It just makes us complete in midfield. That's a poor tackle there on Nelson Viper. I hope he's not injured from that tackle. I will find out when we pass the ball to him to see whether he's got the plus sign on him. But that was a poor tackle. I mean, if there's anyone we cannot afford to be injured this season, it has to be our centre forward, right? If there's anyone we cannot afford to lose, it has to be Nelson Viper. Oh my goodness, I'm so worried. It looks like he's injured the last time we gave the ball to him. But, big chance there from Villa. The goalkeeper made a good save. Tielemans is going to pick up a yellow card from that tackle on Nelson Viper earlier on. I think he's injured. Hopefully he can just about... Hopefully it's a knock and he can just run it off rather than a long-term injury. But we will see. Substitution here for Villa. They have brought in... Oh, he's injured. He's injured. His name has just popped up there on the top, and the commentators are talking about him being injured. That's a big chance there from, I think it's the player that has just come on, I believe. Yeah, it is the player that has just come on with that big chance there. for Aston Villa. Another big save from Owen Goodman. I am worried right now. Nelson Viper seems to be injured. Well, like I said, I hope it's just a knock that he can run it off before the end of this game. We cannot afford to lose him on a long term, but Ruben Bombomel will drive us forward here. Nelson Viper, okay, I don't think he's injured. I think it was just a knock, because when we played the ball there to him, there was no plus sign to his name. That seems to be good news so far. I'm not 100% sure though. Bundgaard into Price. Price plays in Nelson Viper. He's certainly not injured. Nelson Viper makes it a goal in 5 consecutive games now, and his 18th Premier League goal of the season. I knew that chance was going to fall for him. Aston Villa were beginning to attack more and leaving spaces behind in their defence and midfield. It was only a matter of time before we opened them and scored that second goal. And that's exactly what we've done here. Fantastic finish from the big man up front. And that should be game over now. 2-0. I don't see Aston Villa getting back into this one. They have taken off here Morgan Rogers, who will be replaced by Ivanovic, the former Millwall striker. He's one of the strikers we looked at before we signed Nelson Viper, by the way, Ivanovic. But we opted not to go for him. He's made that big move to the Premier League from Millwall. Oh, that's poor there from Tielemans. Can we make it 3? It is Ruben Bombomel, who's been a handful in this game to the Aston Villa's right back. Xavier Simons was that. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's done him there. He's done him. We cannot afford to concede late on here. Valencia. Oh, what a cross. What a cross that was. How he's missed that, I'm not too sure. Anywhere but straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. But we will keep the clean sheets and a 2-0 victory here for us at Villa Park. It wasn't all that comfortable, you know. The scoreline might suggest so. But Villa had some big chances in this game. But in the end, we've managed to hang on to take all 3 points here. You know what? This could well be one hell of a memorable season, you know. We went into this season thinking, can we compete for the Premier League again? Can we do the impossible in the Champions League? Well, I tell you what, so far, we're doing quite well in both competitions. Top of the league and 5 points clear of second place, Manchester City. Chelsea are in third. We play Manchester City next, which will be in the next episode. That will be a very good game. Liverpool holding on to the 4th position right now. You've got Manchester United, Arsenal, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Sunderland, and Nottingham Forest completing the rest of the top 10 there. Bottom 3 remains West Ham and Burnley, rather. West Ham and Sheffield United in the bottom 3. Bournemouth is still just about avoiding relegation right now. But I'm sure sooner rather than later, Bournemouth will begin to pick up form. They've got one hell of a team there, Bournemouth. The likes of Chouamini in their midfield. They've got Angelo Stiller in their midfield as well. So they've got a really good team. In the Carabao Cup, we are in the semi-finals where we're going to face Burnley at home. And then if we win that game, hopefully, we will find ourselves in the finals of that competition in the Champions League. As we know, we're still behind PSG, second right now, but automatic qualification to the knockout stages. As it doesn't matter what happens in the final 2 games, we will finish in the top 8, which amazing that we've managed to find ourselves finishing in that top 8 with 2 games to go. The likes of Atletico Madrid just outside the top 8, Bilbao, who we will face next, I believe, before our final game of the Champions League group stage against PSG, who are top of the league phase right now. But in terms of the race for the Golden Boot, you've got Nelson Viper running away with it right now. 18 goals in 18 appearances. Incredible performance from our centre forward this season. Leon Delap not far away. You got Jesus, Ousmane Dembele, Johan Biza. You've got Erling Haaland not having the prolific season you would expect for a player of Haaland's quality to be having. But Mikey Moore leads the way for assists. Voltimada up there. You've got Nelson Viper also on 7 assists. So he scored 18 goals and 7 assists in 18 games. That is an unbelievable return for us this season. For clean sheets, Owen Goodman leads the way, 8 clean sheets and 17 appearances. Donnarumma, they've got Emiliano Martinez, Dean Henderson, they've got the likes of Lunin and Trobin. Kanasechi for Arsenal is in there as well. But smash a like on the video if you have enjoyed this one, and of course subscribe to the channel if you're new to it, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.